Today, I decided to talk about one of the most challenging things to learn in Portuguese. From my experience, most students struggle with the use of prepositions and its contractions. In this episode, I will walk you through the preposition de and its main uses. I will give you useful tips on how to succeed in using this important word. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to support me and checking out my Patreon page for my exclusive premium content. I have different tiers with various perks to help you in your learning journey. One of the perks is that you get to vote on the topics for my videos and give suggestions. So thanks to all my patrons that voted on today's topic. E agora, vamos começar! The preposition de can mean different things in English, and that is one of the reasons why it can be quite challenging. The main meanings vary between of, from, about, and by. However, it can mean more than that, and it's very important to know the context in which the word is being used, because in some cases you might need to use another preposition. The preposition de can be used just on its own, or it can be contracted with the definite articles and indefinite articles. De and u become du, de and a become da. And then we have the plurals dos and das. The indefinite articles can contract into dum, duma, duns, dumas. These forms are more often used in oral conversations. The separate form is more common in European Portuguese. De de uma, de uns, de umas. Now let's take a look at de as a preposition of movement. In this case, the word de means from. De, as the origin point, can be expressed with a movement verb other than the usuals ir, vir, and voltar. As in, ontem saí do trabalho muito tarde. Yesterday, I left work very late. A minha chefe chegou de férias há 2 dias. My boss arrived from her vacation 2 days ago. Saying where you're from is also stated with this preposition. Let's take a look at some examples. Eu sou de Portugal. I am from Portugal. Tu és dos Estados Unidos. You are from the United States. Ele é de Coimbra. He is from Coimbra. Ela é do Porto. She is from Porto. The use of the preposition de can be particularly difficult when referring to your origin because in Portuguese the name of countries can be masculine or feminine nouns and some don't require the use of the article, which Portugal is included. That is why someone from Portugal says, Eu sou de Portugal, not using a contraction. So make sure to study well countries, especially the ones you talk most about. With cities, it's quite the opposite in Portuguese. Most cities do not require the use of an article. When the name of the city is also a common noun, meaning another thing, you will see it with an article, such as o Porto, o Rio de Janeiro. De is also used when you need to express a time period, as in, tenho aulas das 9 às 12. I have classes from 9 to 12, but also when referring to a starting point for something. De Lisboa ao Porto são 3 horas de carro. From Lisbon to Porto, it's 3 hours by car. This sentence also covers the use of de, as in by, used with means of transportation. Whenever you want to say you go by, followed by a means of transportation, you will need to use the word de. In this case, the preposition is never contracted. However, be aware that you will only use de for generic, non-specific information about the transportation. Como vais para o cinema?
Eu vou de autocarro
para o cinema. I go by bus to the movies. In this case, you are not giving any particular information about the bus. But if you were to add the bus number, the name of the bus, its color, or other specific information, you could not use de. You would have to use the contraction of em plus the definite article. For time, you will also need to use the preposition de, especially when you are referring to parts of the day. In this case, the preposition means in or at. Eu acordo cedo de manhã. I wake up early in the morning. São 10 da manhã. It's 10 in the morning. A reunião começa às 3 da tarde. The meeting starts at 3 in the afternoon. Eu trabalhei de noite. I worked at night, meaning the whole night. The next case is a very useful one. De is the preposition to be used when you need to express ownership, that an object or something belongs to someone. Think that in English you would have to use an apostrophe attached to a name to express this. O livro do João é azul. This is how we say João's book is blue. If we would translate it literally, we would say the book of João is blue. When expressing dates, the meaning is the same one. 1º de maio, 1st of May, 2 de fevereiro de 2022, the 2nd of February of 2022. Next, we use de to describe a type of something, and in this case, usually the preposition is not contracted. I am sure you are familiar with some of these words and expressions. Óculos de sol, sunglasses. Carta de condução, driver's license. Filmes de comédia, comedy movies. Copo de vinho, glass of wine. Curso de português, Portuguese course. When you are describing what things are made of or the purpose, the preposition de is also used. Camisola de algodão, cotton shirt. Máquina de lavar louça, dishwasher. Toalha de mesa, tablecloth. When talking about subjects, the preposition de is commonly contracted with the meaning about in English. To talk about in Portuguese is falar de. Of course, you can also use sobre as an alternative if it's easier for you, since it's a literal translation from English. A Joana fala de viagens todos os dias is the same as a Joana fala sobre viagens todos os dias. Joanna talks about travel every day. But not less importantly, there are many verbs in Portuguese that are used along with the preposition de. The 3 most common ones are gostar de, to like something, precisar de, to need something, ter de, to have to do something. However, if you are a more advanced student, there are many more verbs to be aware of. If you struggle with the prepositions in Portuguese, feel free to check out my video with por versus para. If you enjoyed this episode, leave me a like and a comment. It's always a pleasure to hear from you guys. Até a próxima!